man. Bro, you look tan.
Yeah, I've been tanning.
Do you have a
So
line?
the main reason, no, I don't do that. I got Portuguese in my blood, so I tend to tan and be pretty fucking dark. But people have been asking me if I've been doing the M2 or whatever. No. Um, I've been doing it mainly because I've been getting more content for Jed North and stuff like that. So I wanted to look good, and tanning always helps the skin look a little bit better, especially on pictures and shit like that. So
Living in Jersey definitely doesn't help this time of the year. That's for sure.
uh, tanning makes you feel better too. It's like an aphrodisiac minus the sex drive.
Bro, you coming to start off season two with a whole new look.
Yeah, I know. I might actually rock it on stage. I don't know yet.
That was my next question. Do you feel comfortable enough to rock it or
So this is me. This is my personality. This is like my look. This is where I always feel the most comfortable. If you look back at like my Instagram before I compete, I always have a beard or at least something because it's what I feel the most confident with. When I shave, it's always like that. I got to do it for the job interview, and job interview is going on stage and having the clean cut look. But now I'm getting to the point to where it still looks clean as long as I maintain it. It fits my character. I like it. Helps my confidence. Why not?
do you
You know,
think that judges prefer a clean shave or they mainly want like tamed?
I think they prefer tamed or at least clean. I would say clean shaved. I would say how you look at all the guys back in the 90s, they were always clean shaved. So when you look at older school judges like, Sandy or Steve, I think it's one of those things that's less distracting. Now we're getting to the point of where there's tattoos and guys got beards now, and Bumstead has the mustache, but I think it's
He's
subjective.
Chris. Chris is plays by his own rules. But let's
Yeah.
think about it for a second, right? So you have you have Brian, he's clean shaved. You have Ali, he's babyface. You have Aaron, he's also clean shaven. Is Emmanuel clean shaven?
I think he has like a little chin strap. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. And then who came in? Ed Vaughn, he's clean shaven. Damn. So I think everybody in that top conversation was that
Corey
practically no.
Corey Morris, Ben Quill, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the Chinese guys, they all got clean shaves. So
They got the best. Chinese guys have the best skin, bro. You
I
ever?
think it's because they don't have as much body hair, so their skin just has less like the pores are the hair follicles, so it
They're
just looks
flawless.
cleaner and it just
Yeah.
lays right over that muscle. They don't have any the extra grit.
You
So
see this here? I got the porn stats.
yeah,
Season
yeah,
two, starting it off right. Bro, I've always wanted a mustache, but I could never feel confident enough to have it connect here. But
I like it.
yeah, I think we'll keep it, man.
Up the dosage, and then you got no. It grows up my eyes. It goes all the way down to my chest. I can connect everything.
I was
Like,
gonna say you got that elite level shit. I don't know where that came from. You're
yeah,
like,
it goes all the way up, man. I always just line it up and clean shave it up. So
how
I
often do you
mean, just
shave?
letting it go. So it used to be I get my haircut every 2 weeks. Sometimes I'll line this up myself once a week because then when it's really, when you get it to where it's like sharp, it grows back that much quicker. I feel like it doesn't stay clean. I like to kind of clean it up myself. The problem is the more I do it myself, the more I fuck it up. So the longer my beard is now, I just let my barber do it. So it's like once every 12 days, once every 2 weeks.
I get mine cut every week, bro. Every week.
Yeah.
Running every Wednesday. I had to move it to today. I'm actually heading out to LA tomorrow, but I had to move it to today. It's just a confidence thing, bro. I want to feel comfortable, confident, especially in like an off season when you're trying to
Yeah.
eat, you start to fluff up a little bit, right? You just want to be comfortable. And it's a small
Yeah.
little thing like that.
I get the same way, but my hair grows back so fast that I'm gonna have an ugly phase regardless. If I went every week, I could, but then it just seems like,
This is
dude, two
money.
days go by and it's already back. The stubble's back. I got a haircut last week already, and my hair's already kind of growing in. So it is what
Well,
it is.
bro, catch the people up, man. First, what have you been doing? Right. And then secondly, we'll talk about the shows after that, but do you have anything in mind? I think you hinted at something today.
Yeah. So honestly, I've been doing the same stuff just off camera. Off season, training hard, building the food back up. Just went through the health phase, the PCT and stuff. So 2 weeks back on cycle, everything's working out, having your body healthier. And I know you posted today too. The health phase is very, very much ideal for people that are trying to, it's like the one step back, three steps forward. It's definitely
Yes.
needed. So it does suck because you get the post show blues. You start to feel like shit a little bit. And that's where you really have to gain control of the ego, and you have to go through that, yet that dark cloud in order to get to like the sunshine. So I went through all of that. The confidence wasn't high, but I knew I had to do it. I mean, we're used to, doing shows and whatnot and season after season. So I'm kind of used to it at this point. I know what to expect and how to navigate through it. But now that I'm back in the improvement phase, I'm excited to see where these next 8 to 12 weeks go and then start the cut. It'll only take me about 10 weeks, 12 weeks to get ready for a show. That puts me right in around end of June, July, August. Maybe we'll be the 2-time Chicago Pro champ. Maybe we'll, do something like Tampa. I don't know yet, but it's just big shows at this point. Getting to the Olympia is always the goal, but I think solidifying myself in the sport as being a 2-time Olympian and bringing the look, they know who I am now. Now it's just about taking that heat and just got to run with it, got to stay relevant, got to keep competing. So, going to pick out the big shows.
You said something I really want to hit on, but first, you mentioned you went on TRT, and as somebody who is really going through the health phase right now, what does that look like for you? Like, what is your TRT dosages?
About a half a cc a week.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, what is that?
150 milligrams a week.
And then do you run HGH or anything, or you just run?
I stay on Serostim year round.
Okay, how many are you?
I'll do 2. I'll never go less than 2. I can't go more than 2 because then I just put weight on too quick and I won't make the cap.
Whole ass other email, like I got a fucking whole meeting email. I'm like,
he sent me a photo. He sent me a photo in the waiting room. Like, yo, what's going on?
Oh wait, we had you out of here the whole time.
Yeah, no, he's in.
I was in a whole other meeting, bro. Like,
and we've been sitting here talking for like 5 minutes. I didn't even look at the phone until now. I'm like, that's funny as hell.
Hilarious.
But you didn't miss much yet. We're just catching up. But damn, man, it feels good to be back. It's like having all 3 of us in here again. Got a big smile on my face.
Yeah,
we got a lot to catch up on. But let's finish off with Drew real quick. So, you ran TRT. Are you comfortable sharing what your first push phase looks like?
So just because of the coach that we have, I don't want to reveal any of the tricks.
Fair enough.
But let's just say it is different than any off-season cycle I've ever done before. Nice. So there's some things that are added with the blood clots in my legs and whatnot. I do have to run a lower dose of things, but we're definitely pushing it to where we're kind of just maximizing the most that we can for the time being. So not going to get in like the dosage or specific compounds, but they are different than I've ever ran before. So I don't even know what to expect.
Hold on real quick. Did we just introduce Saint Nick? My guy with the beard is not Christmas. What the fuck? My guy just got swole, grew a beard and some more shit.
Yeah, I had to change up the look, man. No, you know what I was thinking about? I was looking at like some of these WWE wrestlers, and I remember in 2009, Edge returned to the Royal Rumble, and he had a big ass fucking beard, and everybody went crazy. And I remember I was a kid, and I remember like these guys that come back. I'm like, I got to do something a little bit different. You were always coming in with masks and shit and doing different shit. You know what? I just changed my whole attire.
Yeah,
I like it though.
It's a dope look. I was talking to my girl because she actually just left Monday, but she's coming back next week. But she was like, "Yeah, he looks totally different." I said, "Yeah, and he's bigger too."
Yeah,
and she was like, "It's a good look. I like it."
Bro, when you're on your Instagram lives and the lights hit you and you can see the eyes shining,
little blue eyes.
I'm like, all right, man, I gotta keep my girl off your lives though. But
well, don't worry, we get more attention from men anyways. So
yeah, we really do.
A lot of people think you're gonna get these women, and you may get a couple, but they're usually really fucking weird. Just like the guys that want to buy like your feet photos or
just about to
underwear.
Say, and have you ever got those? You ever got those muscle worship DMs?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god, bro!
So they want to like be I'm your human ATM. Tell me to pay. I'm like, I'm about to be like, just block your ass, take your money.
Weekly.
Oh my god, bro! They asked me. They offered $600 for me to send them a used compression shorts after I go to the gym. Don't wash them, nothing. Just ship them out right after. Megan looked at that text message or that message DM. She was like, "You better do that shit." I was like, "Oh
yeah."
Give me that.
Like, it's like a new tripod or something. Like
business minded. Get your money.
As long as the outcome can come. But all right, Drew. Lastly, you mentioned a few different shows. Is there one you're leaning more towards? Is an ideal situation? What is it? Which one is more likely? Because at one point you said Texas, and then you said Chicago, and now you're saying Tampa. I know it's up in the air.
All right. So the one show that is locked in, confirmed with Ariel 100% to where we have enough time is Tampa Pro. So it gives us till the end of July, and it gives us the first week. I believe it's August 2nd. But we got time for that one. Obviously, I'm going to be ready early, and we'll jump into something sooner if we want to collect the data, just have that weight cap right and like focus on peak. But Tampa is one of those shows that I want to do. I want big titles. I want to do big shows. They're always going to be stacked, just like New York, Pittsburgh. We'll get into that a little bit later, but these shows are only getting bigger. So Tampa, head judge Steve Weinberger, he knows me. He likes my look. I won my first ever pro show in front of him. And then Tampa was also my pro debut in 2020. So it'd be cool to add that title to my resume, going to Olympia with some momentum. But more than likely, I'll be doing a show before then.
I love it, bro. So you'll be in my neck of the woods. So NPR is going to be showing out there. That's going to be awesome.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Erin, 4 weeks out?
Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
Bro,
day by day.
I wish I could show the update he just sent us, bro. This man look crazy.
Bruh.
Oh man.
It's been a fun prep. It's been my easiest prep, literally. Me and Cuz were talking about it. We stayed like I said, staying pretty much tight after people were like, bro, he's not gonna be ready. He's traveling, he's playing around, he's drinking, he's doing whatever, like, thinking I'm not focused. But like literally we stayed tight. So now it's just everything is just clicking. When I say anything that he does, removes, puts in, whatever, it responds so quickly. It's crazy right now. So I'm just excited, man, to kind of get back on stage and kind of showcase the improvements. We've been talking to a few people and they also see the improvements as well. So that's all it's about, man, is improving and beating the best your previous package from the last time you got on stage. And I believe and that's 236 right there.
236. Which one we get?
232.
Oh shit.
So we can pour water and I can easily make that. You know what I mean? So speaking of Ario, I kind of told him, I said, I really don't want to drop below like 230, going into the show. Just because I want to keep that pop, I want to keep that fullness, I want to be super dense. And bring what they've been asking for. I had a judge tell me that they haven't seen the pop from Aaron Banks in 2 years. So I think this is that pop that they were referring to, and I feel ready. You know me. I show out on the stage, so that there won't be any issues there. As far as conditioning, I'm at 5 weeks out. I was already looking just like show day of Olympia.
Yeah.
So
bro,
it showed.
There's so many little things that I can cover here, but the first thing I have to say is I don't think I've ever seen your back this way. Even 2022, when people always want to reference back to, I have never seen your back with one detail and the erectors being this pronounced, right? This is the definition of pops. But they say that you were lacking. And then even through the shoulders, and the last thing I want to emphasize that's truly coming up, bro, your arms. Like
Yes.
your triceps, like
from the back pose, I noticed the triceps,
yes.
and that's when he sent us those check-in photos. I noticed the triceps.
So,
and even the calves. I see that the vascularity and the calves popping too.
They coming up. They coming up. The legs coming up as well. I actually just tried my manifest shorts. I ain't gonna really reveal too much, but yikes.
They coming. Bro.
Yikes.
Like on a serious note, bro, I couldn't. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Cuts have been sending me some shit. Bro, I'm lost for words. And the one thing I love about the way that you're handling this prep, bro, you're posting everything. You're not hiding, and oftentimes, and you said this, like the last podcast that we had, season 1, the last episode, you said, I'm going to come out and share. And you've done just that. And you've stuck to it, gotten a lot of people talking, man. So currently,
and that's the thing, like, even I like with that statement, even though he's not on this podcast, but it is just a saying that I've heard, over the years of GB saying like, shit, if you got a Ferrari, uncover that motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, well, I mean, we might got a Bugatti on our hands right now.
He said, Rome.
So thing is like we're showing, and that's the thing. Like, I don't lack any body part. I'm showing front, side, back, whatever the case may be. I'm not lacking anything.
So you almost gotten into a little bit of trouble with a very similar sentiment on another podcast. And I feel like
Speaking of that podcast, I really didn't like how they angled that because they only clipped that moment,
The
which a lot
media,
of podcasts like to do. Um, so that's why like I didn't really push it. I didn't share it or anything like that because of just the narrative they try to push. Again, they try to push the negative, the villain Aaron, blah blah blah. I'm not on that type of shit right now. I'm really just focused on what I got to do. If you go listen to that whole interview, which I know somebody else really didn't listen to it, he just heard the little statements, but it wasn't even it wasn't a negative podcast. It was all positive, to be honest. But like I said, man, I don't have to explain myself to nobody. I'm a grown ass man, and if you take something wrong, that's on your insecurities, and that's your problem. I have nothing to kind of worry about there.
you if you watch the whole segment of where what they asked the question of,
Yeah,
I think you'll get a lot more context. And in a situation like that, what I'm trying to digest on why people were so upset was, what else would you expect him to say? They asked you a specific question that is
right.
direct, comparison to somebody else. And
Exactly. So if you're gonna say how could you beat him, or what do you have that can beat him? What do you think I'm gonna say? I'm going to
so
say everything that I think I can beat him at.
I think, listen, bro, you're in a situation where it's almost like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. At the end of the day, you said it before, right? EB is EB. All right. I'm just
Right.
gonna stay in my lane and I'm gonna continue, to speak my truth. Now, Ali Bilal, I love him. He's a great guy, a great competitor. I hope he saw the whole podcast too, because I believe he had one with them as well. But regardless, the battle that's about to come, not even just with you and Ali, we have Diogo. We cannot count him out, which I feel like some people are starting to just because of the hype around you two. Where's your head at going into this show? How are you feeling? And you mentioned it's the best.
Bro, I like my mindset is rather on I want people to pin Ali and Diogo together. Like don't think about me. Y'all already doubt me anyway. Like let me lose. Like y'all run that narrative. Don't put me in y'all little space of who predictions, who gonna win and this and this and that. I know what the fuck I'm doing over here. I know what my coach I know what my coach got planned for me. So it's not about what my mindset is, what anybody else is doing. It's about what I'm focused on and where I'm going. So my mindset is really, I'm locked in. Like I'm locked in.
No, and you can tell, man.
No other way around it. There's no other way
Yeah,
around it.
yeah, and you can tell.
that's
Um,
what I noticed too. Aaron isn't feeding into any of the stuff. I didn't even know what was even said until I had a few people sent it to me who are also fans of Aaron too. They're always sending me stuff and just wondering what happened. And that's when I actually took it upon myself to, because we all are a part of the narrative, and people that are going to
Right.
take these snippets and only show you what they want to show you, right? Not everybody's going to have that attention span to go watch a hour video and break it down,
Right.
because people have TikTok brain. They have brain rot right now. They don't want to listen to that. They want to listen to the snippet and be like, damn, look what he did, or look what he said. And, oh, classic Aaron's back talking shit or whatever. But I listened to it, and you threw respect on his name, and, whatever way that other people take it, it's how they take it. But I decided to go watch it, and I thought nothing that you said was wrong. I think it was just all confidence in what you believe in. And if you break down all of your guys' previous, resumes as far as, Olympia placings, other show places, who beat who and who did what, it doesn't even matter at this point. Just showing up to the show that counts, and laying it all down, and getting as close as you can to that best version of yourself. And I hope they all bring their best too. It's going to be an interesting Arnold. Same with Pittsburgh too.
That that channel, they're doing great things for not only our division but the sport in general because they cover everybody. So I do entice everybody to go watch it. Right, don't take out a small segment and take it for gold. Right, watch the whole thing. It was no negativity throughout the entire podcast. It was actually a really good podcast. So highly recommend it. Now,
That's
obviously,
the thing. When I saw the snippet, bro, I was like, that right there, I'm fucking done. I'm not fucking doing no more podcasts or interviews without them signing a contract of my approval on what the fuck they're going to post. There's no, I just can't, because you're not gonna keep trying to paint me as somebody I'm not, bro. I'm not. I ain't even said shit about nobody. I don't give a fuck about nobody. I'm not worried. I'm not looking at nobody Instagram. I'm not like it. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. So why would I be painted in a certain way, and why would y'all even put that out there for me to even look like that when I'm on a whole different other
because it brings views. You know why they're doing it. You can't even be
I
mad at
get
them,
it.
but it's just
I get
it's
it.
you
I
know what I'm
can't.
saying?
But at the end of the day, I'm
Uh,
like, that's what. Yeah,
you
that's
learn.
the
You learn. You're like, I'm not doing this shit again because you know what they're gonna do.
wrap.
Like, yeah.
It's a wrap, bro. It's
Yeah.
a wrap.
And like I said, it's a good page. I just think that some of these things were taken out of context and, turned to make you try to be the villain. It's the only part I didn't love about it. But outside of that, like you mentioned, you might have not been looking at the people getting ready to step on stage with shit, but I have been. Now, your updates to me,
I'm gonna tell you right now, like I don't give a fuck about me. Let's stop talking about me. I don't care. Like I'm locked in. I'm doing what I'm doing. But who I have seen that's looking fucking crazy right now
I know you're gonna
is
say,
Diogo,
oh yeah,
Vitor, and Ryan Clark. Is what I've seen.
all right,
Like those three guys right there are looking fucking crazy right now.
bro. First of all, we got to put respect on his name because he is the 2024 Arnold Classic champion, and he's coming
Absolutely.
back for sure. And I think a lot of people are not talking about him for whatever reason, but this is the best version of Diogo that I think I've ever seen. We always talk about Diogo's midsection not being in 4 weeks out, and his midsection looks like this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, Drew, what do you see in the updates that you've seen from Diogo so far?
He's skinless. I mean, he already looks like he's ready now, and that's going with a lot of guys. A lot of guys look like they just get cut water and go on stage tomorrow. It doesn't look like he missed a beat. I feel like people haven't talked about him due to the relevance factor. When people don't compete and they're not in the mix no more, and you got a new name like Ali who's second place, and you got some of these guys that are shuffling around in the top five. People tend to forget. So I think a lot of people are just underrating him right now because they have Ali and Erin going back and forth, and they think it's a two-man show. And that wasn't the case last year with last year's predictions or the year before, and that's what makes this interesting. But I think he looks absolutely like transparent lean. That's the best I've ever seen his core. I was actually looking at his photos today, even his arms, and he just looks transparent. It's crazy to see all these guys, how the conditioning is really dialing in for everybody. I think it's becoming a
Yeah.
standard, and that's why making that conditioning list, like people want to make that now. It's not all about that, like Sandy said, but when you have a complete structure that's full muscle bellies, top to
And that's
bottom, I
the
mean,
thing,
that conditioning is
man.
only going to make it better.
When you hitting on that, man, like what Sandy said with the conditioning, bro, it's crazy because people also think that they're just gonna win off of conditioning. That
No,
it don't work like that. And then for somebody to say some of the things that they've said, like you don't think ain't out here improving? You don't think people are bigger, more conditioned, and bringing a better shape? Bro, I just started training shoulders again. That's why my structure looks the way it looks right now. Like, so it's like when people run their mouth and do certain things, it's funny to me now. Me,
it
it's
takes
funny.
time to have that mindset though, because I was the same way. I'd always try to take things personal when people would say
Yeah,
things. Even last year, I mean, I kind of took a little break from Instagram just because you let these guys get in your mind, and then they're there rent free because you allow it to happen. Now I'm just putting out
yeah.
content that unapologetically, and
All you can
you know,
do. That's all you
not
can do.
talking about anybody. I'm taking a step back from it. I mean, we all had conversations about this, and I think the best thing for cutting these things into seasons now is kind of being able to reflect on what we could do to be better as a group.
Yeah. And I agree, man. You know how social media can be, right? I feel like
Oh,
if
absolutely.
if half the time people actually had a general conversation with that person, it would be a little bit different. But I think
10 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times,
a
it's
narrative like
always that.
a narrative likes to be created, and then it kind of goes for as long as people want it to go.
It
But
tends to be with the person who has more followers, because then you have your fans that are fighting for you, and then they create the narrative. It might not even be the person themselves. It might be the
Right.
followers that are kind of pushing it. Like, for example, Joey Swole with that whole situation, they change it to make it fit like that person's the enemy when they may not be. And then they come into your page and they're attacking you. So, two negatives don't make a positive in that sense. So if you did something wrong, them fans coming over to tell you how fucked up you are, or something about your personal life, doesn't make it any better. So a lot of it
Right.
comes from, being on social media and having fans and following and things like that.
absolutely. Now we have Ali Bilal, obviously second place finisher at the Olympia, and he's confident, man. And I think for good reason. He looks phenomenal. Conditioning is his calling card, and there's a lot of people talking about him going to get it. Now, the cool thing is we have Diogo, we have Erin, who's already won, and I actually believe Ali Bilal won at Arnold, but maybe the Arnold UK. So we have some people who've already, won the Arnold's going back to get another one. So Drew, when you see this physique, what do you see? And do you think there's any improvements made since the Olympia?
I just see a more fuller, complete look. We all know that Ali has the conditioning. So when you see it so much, it becomes, I wouldn't even say less impressive, but you're used to it. It's almost like the Erin effect with his back. Like we see it and you could tell that it's better, but it's not like, holy shit, look at his back now. Like it wouldn't be like if I posted my back and it looked like Erin, then people would be like, holy shit. But we all know Erin has a back as a strength. So then when you fine tune things, it's already like expected, right? So
Mhm.
same thing with Ali. You see his core and it's like, okay, his core is gutted. Best midsection in the IFBB. I'm pretty sure we could all agree on that. Looks like his chest is fuller. He has more of a shorter structure. You know, his limbs are a little bit shorter. You know, he's still complete and he has a complete silhouette. I still think that his back, I can't tell in this picture because he's not centered, but I still think that his back could improve. I can't really tell unless there's stage shots that are completely straight on. I mean, his back isn't necessarily a big weak point, but it's not a big strength. So Erin and Ali are compared often because let's say just from the overall completeness, but each other have their own weaknesses. So Erin's weakness is Ali's strength. Ali's strength
Yeah.
is, you know, Erin's weakness. So I'd say the core, Ali wins the core, but Banks wins the back. And I would say Banks wins almost every other group. That's why I agreed with him on the podcast of what he said. It's just two different looks. Like when they look, like when they're on stage and they're in comparison, they're next to each other. Banks wins the back shot, and I have Ali winning the front shot, to be completely honest with you guys. But individually breaking down each body part, Erin has bigger shoulders, fuller chest, longer arms that are filled out, and just from the back, shoulders, rear delts, all of that. But it's not even just individual body parts, it's the whole look that comes together. Now it's the same thing with Ryan Terry. He's not the most aesthetic guy, and he doesn't have one body part that completely sticks out, but it's just so complete. And I think it's the same effect with Ali.
I was actually gonna tell Aaron act like he's not here, so this actually works perfectly. So then why do you think Ali won or beat Aaron at the Olympia?
I think Erin was flat. Now that I could look back and we had this time to kind of decipher, talk to these judges, I think it did came down to, you know, because Erin was flat, he still had a superior back, but overall Ali was more polished and more comparable to the champ who was Ryan Terry. So it made more sense having Ali second, in my opinion. Now I don't necessarily agree with that. I still have Erin, and we both have Erin as the epitome of what men's physique is based on the silhouette and the structure, and we're always going to say that, you know. But where the champ is right now, being absolutely flawless with symmetry, conditioning, and peak, because peak could influence your conditioning in the way that you look. It's not that Erin wasn't conditioned. I just he wasn't complete. So that's where I think Ali picked up some of the ground on Erin at that show. So, you know, we're always going to talk about, you know, if Erin's 100% and Ali's 100%, who's going to win? And we all know the answer to that. It's just a matter of it coming down to that.
Yep. So what does Aaron need to do to win the Arnold, and what does Ali need to do to win the Arnold?
Well, Ali needs Erin to be off like he was at Olympia. And for Erin to win the Arnold, he needs to peak. He needs to peak perfectly because we both know Ali is never off on a peak.
You know,
So I think the winner is going to come down to who peaked better. That's really what I think. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Ali's going to be improved. We could say that because it is enough time, but I don't know how much of an improvement it will be from the Olympia because it's really not that much time to, you know, go into an off season, you know, run some bulkers to where you're figuring out your body to where you can respond and then cut back down and then be ready. Erin already has all the size in every place. There's still flaws within Ali's physique that I could pick apart, you know, like you could look at his physique, just like you could look at my physique, you know, okay, he needs a back, he needs this, he needs that. Ali has a better back than me. He has a back, but it's not as superior as it is to Erin.
I was about to say it's different because now you're comparing it to the say his first call out at the Olympia, right? You're comparing it to the Aaron Banks, the Emmanuel Hunters, the Ryan Terrys. Like you're standing next
Exactly.
to them who have better backs than you, right? So it does speak highly of what he does have, like the conditioning. Even I'm not gonna say it's the best structure, but I think he maximizes it with his angles phenomenally in order to stand out on stage, right? We got to give him that, but it does speak volumes that he's standing next to third place and fourth place, who I believe have the best backs in the league when 100% on, right? I It speaks volumes that he can still place ahead of them. Now, obviously, we already talked about Aaron wasn't his best at the Olympia, right? And from what we're seeing here, he's trending to be better than where he was when he won the Olympia. So 100% agree. I think it's going to come down to who peaks the best. And Aaron's in a situation where I said it before. People still say I'm on dick whenever I say it, but I'm gonna say it again. He has the highest ceiling in men's physique. So when you have the highest ceiling, if you maximize that, even within a 5%, of your best, it's gonna be fucking hard to beat. But again, Ali, he's looking fucking Ali, right? Looking amazing. Aaron is looking the best that he's ever had. The Ogo is also looking the best that he has ever. But I want to look at Vitor because he's been dropping some pretty dope updates lately too, and just broke the fact that he's going to be stepping on stage at the Wasatch Warrior, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he'll be going against Andre. I think Andre said that at one point, so that's going to be a cool battle to see.
I talked to Andre this past weekend at Bev's. He's doing other shows too, but I'm gonna keep that on the down low. But Andre is definitely running the gauntlet this year, so we're gonna see him sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. I know. I think he said he's like 9 weeks out from one of his recent posts, but this is the best Vitor that I've seen in a while too.
Especially being 4 weeks out. Vitor's that guy that has the fullness. It's another thing. He's very, very complete. If you look at his physique, it's like Aaron, but just in a shorter stature. You look at the delts, the chest, the core, the back. It's all there. It's just a matter of coming in peaked. And Vitor peaked the best at the Olympia. So I think that Ariel and him are kind of down to the science of what he needs to do to improve.
Bro,
as far as the peaking.
Look at his fucking legs. Oh my God. That shit is.
I never knew he had legs like that. I know he had calves, but I never knew he had quads like that.
He got like Hawaiian guys' calves.
Yeah, he's got that low muscle belly.
Bro, that's just crazy. But Aaron, what do you see here in Vitor's updates?
He looks fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He looks fucking.
So
I think I saw this, or go to his story. See if you can go to his story. No, go back. I don't know if it's the same video. Go back.
It's definitely dry for 4 weeks out.
One more.
This one?
Yeah, same video.
Bro, yeah, but now I can see his calves here. He does look crazy. Actually, I think there's another video too.
When you think about it, like he did not look like this a week or 2 weeks.
I thought he was full blown at the Olympia. I think a little bit more detail could have had him higher, obviously, with the people who were there. But I think,
I think he's come down.
Yeah,
he's more like, I think his size has definitely come down a little bit.
Yeah, I think he can sacrifice size for that little bit more
because he has so much density on his frame. And the thing is, I'm not used to seeing Vitor. He's not a guy that's known to be dry, and he is dry like on show day, but he's never like superior dry. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But being this far out and looking this way, I have never seen him look like this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this is definitely the best as he's been looking. I'm excited to see him. So he is 4 weeks out from the Arnold, 11 weeks out from Wasatch, and 13 weeks out from Pittsburgh. Jesus, Pittsburgh.
All these shows are stacked, man. Wasatch shit.
It's gonna be crazy.
They all want that hammer.
Yeah, and then
that door hammer.
We have a lot of other guys on here, but I do want to show Ryan. I'm not sure if he has any.
Wasatch is the hammer.
Yeah, that Thor hammer. I think Jason Wynn got it last year.
What's the date?
What was that? Was that 12 weeks out?
Yeah,
I think it's April.
It's at 11.
It's like April something.
Aaron, it's not be sneaky. Was this? So this was posted yesterday. Ryan, man, he looks full as shit, dude.
He look full in this.
Oh my God, he's bursting out of his skin. So what do you think that he needs to do in order to break that, say top 5, top,
nothing. Bring that fullness and that conditioning in that elevator.
You say that.
I think I'm gonna be honest here. The biggest thing that's gonna hold Ryan back, I don't think is in his control.
What do you mean?
His back symmetry. I think it's the symmetry. I think it's going to come down to he's winning these shows where he's out conditioning some guys, but when you look at that left lat, when it comes next to him coming, like if he's next to a Vitor or something, he's going to be exposed from the back, even if he beats these guys in the front. That's truly what I think.
I think that he grew enough.
He compensates it, but it's still noticeable.
But you got to understand, it's two people that we just saw that y'all thought that are really good people. Their back poses, I mean, I see lumps. I see all types of different shit going on. You know what I mean? So you can't really say because of his symmetry. A lot of these guys got crooked ass back poses, anyways.
I think that Ryan has put enough muscle in his back to, I'm not gonna say kind of create a camouflage because you can see it, right? You can clearly see it, but I think that he's put on enough tissue to make it not be as dramatic. And I've noticed,
It has been better because when we
yeah,
had him on the podcast, we acknowledged that. That's just something that I think now that maybe I just know it, that my eye goes to it. And yeah, nobody has a perfectly symmetrical back. But I think when it comes down to like even Banks's back being next to Ryan, Ryan's front is very, very much complete. And I think he just naturally has a smaller frame too, clavicularly, but he pulls it off with having a small waist. I just think when it comes down to the back pose, he may have an overall better back if he's relaxed or it's a back double bicep or even in the back pose. But I just noticed the symmetry. I
yeah.
think that's just personally what I think would prevent him, and it's something that is very hard to
It,
improve. I also have a lopsided back too, so it's one of those things that I cognitively have in the back of my head too, thinking that it holds me back. So it's another reason why I would think that it would hold him back. That's the only reason why I bring it up.
it makes sense because again, at this level, Olympia, Arnold, right? It's the smallest of margins and that separate you, right? So I think he's conditioning will be on par to compete with anybody. I mean, he's 4 weeks out with damn near the conditioning he had, during peak week. Um, I think,
Fuller,
yeah, and fuller. You see his chest here, definitely.
shoulders, chest, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn, damn, he looks good, man. A lot of density, a lot of density.
and
But
his waist is staying tight too.
yeah,
Because a guy that has like a shorter frame like that, if he didn't have that waist, he wouldn't be where he is. He holds himself because of the waist,
you
because of
think
the waist to shoulder ratio.
would you recommend him to continue to compete throughout the year or shut it down to improve? Or does he have enough muscle?
I think he has enough
Yeah,
muscle. I think it'll just be coming down to, you
you
know,
don't need
he always
muscle.
peaks. There's no point. I mean, if he's under his weight cap, I mean, I think he has as much muscle as any of these other guys. I think it's just how the muscle lays on his shape or
Yeah.
on his frame. I can't say that looking at these photos, he would need more shoulders or arms. That's great. Like as far as back, his back is fully loaded. Even when he's relaxed backstage, you see slabs of tissue on tissue, so I can't really pinpoint anything. And this is what a lot of these guys, it's very hard to pick out certain body parts that these guys lack because everybody has a very complete physique in their own way with their own stature. It just fits out perfectly. And that's us as bodybuilders trying to maximize our strengths to be stronger and our weaknesses to be strengths.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say, this is going to be an exciting show. I think this is through all the updates that I've seen of every guy, this is looking like their best version of themselves. And I think that's what's the most exciting thing, right?
Hey,
I've
what did
seen,
I read about? They said City had a chest injury.
yeah, I think Men's Physique Central posted that.
What's that about?
I don't know. I mean, in the update, his chest looked crazy big, but I saw him
It
like,
looked cool, but it was like twitching or something.
I don't know if it's still up anymore.
It was
Nah.
yesterday.
Yeah, but I saw something where he was like grabbing at his chest, and let's see if
So like a cramp or something, or like an actual injury.
um,
And
it
it said
looked like
injury.
yeah, the way that it was posted seemed like it was an actual injury. Yeah, it doesn't look like he posted anything.
I mean, he's still posting that the show's happening. So
Yeah, I mean I don't. It didn't look like something that was like it didn't roll up or anything, so it doesn't look like it was anything too bad. But his chest looked crazy big in that update, that's for sure. But
let's
Look,
check out Jason.
does he have any? Is he a guy who posts updates?
I
I
honestly
think
don't know. I've been so low key on Instagram, but
Jason posted. I talked to Jason what a week, 2 weeks ago.
When was this?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, one day ago. You know, people are going to look at this photo and say Jason isn't going to be ready. I have seen Jason.
yeah.
So, I'm,
Shit,
bro, I'm not kidding. I have seen Jason so many times not look ready, even fucking 2 weeks out from a show, and he shows up then
ready.
just looking like this.
you know
Like,
who he reminds me of when it comes to getting in shape very fast? Charjo.
yes.
Because Charjo has the same effect. They both carry a lot of tissue, and you can definitely tell when they're in off season because their face gets filled out. But
Yep.
Charjo's another guy that I'll see like 8 weeks out. Next thing you know, he's fucking peeled on stage, and Jason's got that same effect. And I don't know if he's just dieting hard. I don't know.
He is dieting hard.
How Ryan Benson diets him, but he doesn't seem to. He could diet that way because he has so much tissue that he's not going to lose it.
Let me show
Some
you.
guys can't hard diet like that because then they lose the fullness. If I hard dieted like that, and I would have absolutely no body parts left to me. I wither away, but he could hold it.
Workouts again, brutal.
Wait for it. I think it was Ryan Benson who posted it, but something that he's on like zero carbs or
Yeah,
something.
he's known to do that. I like when I seen him at Vancouver, and that was still the best I've ever seen Jason, bro. Vancouver.
Dude, yeah, that look was
That was the craziest I've ever seen. And I said if he brings that look, he will be top 10. He was so complete and full, and he was so miserable at that show. I remember at check-ins because they didn't have AC or nothing. He's sweating. He was sitting there. He was so down. His face looked like it was melted into his skull. That's how lean he was. And he really impressed me to step up my game. You know, I'm conditioning for me is I'm very prideful with it because I know how hard it is to get to that body fat. And he had everything. And that was that show that he needs to look back at that. That's like Banks's 2022 Olympia. That's Jason's right there, Vancouver 23.
yeah, I agree. He looked insane. And again, like I said, most people are gonna look at this and be like questioning, but I guarantee he's gonna be ready.
He looks big. He looks big there.
He's always big, bro. Like he can he's one of those guys who can diet down on zero carbs and not lose much tissue, if any at all.
The
Even
big
if
Rammy effect.
yeah, and if anything, he could
Zero carbs is crazy.
Aaron, have
Zero crazy.
have you never been zero carb before, Aaron?
Well, I ain't never been below 180 grams of carbs a meal. What are you talking
He
about?
said a meal. Shut up. What?
I'm dead ass serious. Meal 4 and 5, I have zero carbs, but what?
Yeah.
No.
It's how Ariel also tunes our bodies too. Cause you know, even with me, this is the first time he's keeping cardio in. He used to not even start me on cardio till like 8 weeks out, you know.
Well,
So I think it's just the metabolism. He knows the bodies, and a lot of guys are dieting the same way. Guys that are used to doing zero carbs or
This
have
the
in the
most
past.
goddamn cardio I've ever done in my life.
how much?
Yeah, he said we're not playing.
And then 7 days a week too. I'm like, bruh,
Yeah,
this shit got to stop. This shit
Yeah.
ain't going.
How much cardio?
Go ahead. I mean, I'm doing an hour 4 days a week, 45 3 days a week.
yeah, he's pushing you. That's unheard of for Ariel. He never had me over 45, but when he pushes it like that, you know his
Bro,
goal.
that's
You
what
know
I'm
what he's
saying.
trying
My
to do,
condition is better than the Olympias already. So
and you're heavier too.
I'm way heavier. 10 pounds.
10 pounds?
No,
What the fuck?
12 pounds over Olympia's weight right now.
Do you think a lot of that is from after Olympia being able to relax and get some leeway and freedom and be able to go out with your girl and hang out and like spend time with your kids? Do you think a lot of taking the stress off is what kind of helps your body bounce
Absolutely.
back and fill out? Yeah.
I think it was just a lot of me taking the not stress, but the load off from okay, Olympia. Everybody's fucking focused on who's gonna win. Is Aaron gonna bring this? So a lot of that just when Olympia is over with, like it's a fucking relief.
It is.
Like it is a relief. I don't know if y'all feel that at all either, but bro, like when the Olympia is done, I'm like, fuck, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like nobody's talking no more. Okay, I lost. Whatever. Third place. Cool. Even like when I won, bro, like I'm like, damn, thank God it's over. No prep. Don't have to worry about waking up at fucking 4 o'clock. Don't have to, it's so routine when you get in this routine to where it's like your brain even want to do it when you're not prepping. So when I after this Olympia, bro, I didn't wake up till like 8. I didn't do no cardio. I was still going to the gym and training because as y'all see that I stayed tight throughout that little health phase, and then we didn't even bulk. We just got back into prepping, you know. So like the nerves, everything was just intact, and then next thing you know, what was it like 11 weeks and 6 days before the Arnold we decided to do it, bro. I wasn't planning on doing it, so my brain was just so it was at ease.
Yeah.
So
I was with you for a lot of that time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I feel like it even starting this prep and even saying it's been my easiest prep, it's because I'm not prepping, bro. There was a point where we did a 32-week prep.
Oh shit.
We've done a 24-week prep. We've done a 20-week prep. We've done 18s. When we do anything below, I don't think we've ever done a 12. Ever. Not just coming off of a show. I mean, we've done back-to-back shows or shows to where you stay in shape and the next 2 weeks you go run it again. But to start fresh and then do a 12-week prep, never, I've never done it in my life. And it's just been such an ease because, like I said, from the body responding to every little detail that he's implementing, it's just been smooth. No hungry, like no, not being hungry. Because again, we're eating. I'm 236. Um, the cardio is the only thing I'm like, damn, I gotta do this shit. But I've learned to love it because of the result.
Absolutely.
Like, well, shit. The core hit like that. Oh, all right, let's keep going. Keep doing it. So it's just the small things and the small wins, and I consider those small wins that kind of keep me going and moving. So besides that, man, it's just been a hell of a ride so far. And as you guys have been seeing in the updates, it's there. Like
Yeah.
all we gotta do, bro, is show up and peak. That's it.
I think this, like we already talked about it, but your midsection and update you recently just sent us that you didn't post yet, or I don't know if you are. It's insane.
I'm not gonna post it. We're not gonna post it.
That's gonna wow some
This,
people.
this is the bro. This is the tightest my waist has been.
Yeah.
The tightest.
We're gonna have to get you custom made fucking size 23.
But that's the
But
thing. Those small shorts,
they,
they,
really,
I might have to take them in just a little bit.
Yeah, what size do you rock?
me?
So I usually wear 28s, but even at the O, like I actually like the 29s that
What the
they
fuck?
fit really good at night show. Those are the red ones. Um, but yeah, they're usually I'm wearing 28s.
I haven't wore 28 since I was probably in high school. I actually got a bigger waist. I got a bigger waist. People don't really realize it, but I got a bigger waist, but I offset it with my width, and it's the same way
It's
with
just
you. You just make it even more dramatic with. I remember when you were measuring your waist, like I forgot, like 26 or whatever. The only reason why you're 28 is probably because your legs,
yeah,
Yeah.
because the legs
yeah.
fill it out
They
and hold them
brought-
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was about
the
to say,
legs are tight.
it's like
But
legs are big as shit.
Cuts was like, bro, start measuring your waist again. I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not
He's
gonna do that.
curious. He's curious. He wants just more data.
Bro, because
So
every morning I do a check because I've started doing like daily check-ins just to send them because bro, like it's exciting to send daily check-ins because my body is just like because it'd be like some days like I ain't gonna do a check-in. I get out that shower, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this nigga getting a check-in today. Like he get a check-in, this shit look crazy. So, it's just the little small things that, like I said, man, that excites me and that's keeping me going with this prep has been smooth. I'm loving it, bro. Loving it.
So we recently got word from Steve Weinberger of the potential addition of an elimination round. On a previous podcast, we were talking about different things that the vid or the league could do in order to cut down the numbers at the Olympia. Did you guys get a chance to watch that video?
I did. I watched it in full.
Yeah, so I'm curious to know, for those of you who haven't watched it, in summary, it basically highlights the fact that, they're in conversation about adding an elimination round prior to the Olympia, so completely separate show. And this was from Steve Weinberger himself. So I'm curious to know, Drew, what do you think? If that's something that's feasible, or do you think that's something that's going to do more harm than good?
So there's pros and cons. When I first saw the video, I was kind of like, okay. And I applied to myself because we're both Olympians. So I always put it in perspective for myself as well. Like it's gonna benefit me as an athlete. So let's say I win a show and I qualify and I'm going to the Olympia. I got to worry about a prelim Olympia now. So it's not actually the Olympia. So I would be qualifying for a show that is a show to qualify for the Olympia. So technically I wouldn't be Olympia qualified. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a prelims, kind of like a playoff. So that to me is what kind of threw me for a loop because it's like, okay, well, why don't they? They're not going to get rid of shows because it's business, and they're not going to make they potentially are not going to make something to where it's like you got to win two pro shows to go because that would just make it even more difficult. I don't think it's about Um, it's just about business at this point. I agree with having a prelim, but I think it should be some sort of a point system. I don't think it should be for the guys that are already qualified. You know, it's kind of a hit or miss with my opinion on it. I think that they're never going to be able to limit the shows that people are qualifying for. No, I don't blame them for that. But if the reason to cut down to have a prelim show was because there's too many competitors at the Olympia, then they should just make it harder to qualify for the Olympia. That's what I think, but I really don't know what way it's going to go. I kind of think that it was a thought of Steve, like kind of thinking out loud of what's under discussion. I don't think anything's, taken literal yet, obviously, in the sense of Tyler being the VP. I think they're just kind of talking about it and just, and it was definitely something that I was like, whoa, like it's cool, but it's also like, well,
I'm gonna tell you
like,
right now,
for me, it doesn't benefit me. Like I'm not a top 15 guy yet, at least. But it would be like, damn, I'm qualified for the Olympia and I don't get to go to the Olympia. So I can't tell my family and my friends, like, hey, I'm competing at the show because I may not make it.
That's a good point. Aaron, what
I
were you
think,
saying?
well, first of all, I don't really have to worry about it. It's about 6 of us who don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, true.
But the thing is, it's going to happen. I think it should be more of a 3-day weekend and then have amateurs the weekend prior or before it. So they're not doing amateurs and pros in like 7 days.
Okay, so the problem with that is literally peaking the day after each other, depending on when they would go.
That's
Also,
okay.
renting the venue out
It's
for
like,
Vegas, though. I know you got to plan years in advance.
It's just like a Pittsburgh Pro. It's a 2-day show. You can't complain about peaking when you have shows that are two-day shows.
So would you say the people who've already qualified, like who are within that, like so say previous Olympians, right? So they don't have to qualify. Then they don't have to do that show. So they only peak
No.
for the day, right?
Yep.
So my
The
question
thing is, they're trying to prevent the sport from getting in the 70s. Like we're at 58, it's still a lot. It's been showed that they could still judge it accurately, right? But it's to prevent it because businesses do what? They grow. So how are you going to put a cap on it from growing? So I think it's just talking from the retrospective what they may do in the future to limit it. But I read the opinion on it that I have. It's like, yeah, it would
You
be
got to
cool to do
understand
it,
there's
but
so many
then
different ways for the business to grow instead of just pushing more shows and then having more people in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That also makes it more exclusive, kind of like the Arnold. They only fucking invite 12 people.
So what
And
I think
then
the issue is the expansion into other countries. Now, when I say issue, I don't mean they shouldn't be doing that, but the numbers, right? If you look at it, look who in the top 10 were, American versus those who were from other countries.
I think there's only 14 out of the 58 from the USA.
Exactly. So that's crazy. So if you really think about it, right? So there's a lot of new international shows being added, which opens up new opportunity for those guys overseas. And because of that, there are, like, keep in mind, there's only a few guys who run the gauntlet out there. We have Emmanuel, was that his name? And then we have or I'm sorry, we have Emil, we have a Sid, we have a few other guys who might just run the gauntlet and snag some qualifications, but it's not common, so a lot of those guys will just get qualified and they go to the Olympia. And then those numbers expand dramatically. So it's like football, right? They're expanding into to Mexico, they're expanding into Germany, right? And they're trying to get more worldwide, which in return is growing the sport, more money. So they're not going to do that. But like I said, they're also now having a double-edged sword where the actual Olympia is being a little bit more watered down. So I think if they're going to continue to grow the sport in the way they're doing, they're 100% going to add an elimination round. And I don't think in the way Steve talked about it is he doesn't want it to be attached to the Olympia. So say they do it a week or two prior to that, then that's probably going to cut down the qualification window, right, for other people to qualify. And then we're going to have, the actual show, which, like you said, it's taking away from it, I think, to a small degree. But what else are they going to do?
So instead of talking about what we think about it, what do you think the solution would be? And I know Erin said there could be a lot of different avenues and solutions. What would, just off the top of your head, be an idea to fix this? Like, what do you think would be still make the Olympia prestigious, but at the same time make it work for competitors that are trying to qualify and go to the most prestigious show?
it won't work. There is nothing to work.
I
It's
think,
the federation is too big. They've already
yeah,
expanded. There's no way of okay, we've done all this. We can't.
kind of
There's
pull
no
back.
control. There's
I
no
think,
control.
I think the issue is going to lie, um, where they said they want 15 people stepping across the Olympia stage. Because then, if you think about it, say in 5 years, right? Say one or two additional champions are added. That's what, seven, eight already. That's right. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's seven right there, excluding Mark Anthony. So are those seven guys automatically qualified, and they want 15 there? And I think that's where the issue is going to lie. I think they need to make it clear. Whereas maybe I think it can't be 15. I think it's going to need to be higher. And I also think they can start ranking the top 20 now instead of just the top 16. I think that can also help a little bit. So
It would have to do that. I mean, I think that they would have to do that in order to have the guys that carry over from the prelims. My solution would be getting 2 pro wins to qualify because that would nearly cut the number in half.
holy shit, yeah, it would.
But the only problem is some of the overseas shows, they might only have one show in that specific country. So how would they ever be able to go? You know what I'm saying? So it would almost force them to come to the United States or do another show that's near them. But some of these guys are in the middle of nowhere. They'd have to go 8 hours, 9 hours in one direction to just get another pro win.
They can do after 15 or 20 shows or new qualifiers or new qualifications obtained. They can start, then the point system starts again.
Yeah. I don't think they'll ever bring the point system back because they got rid of it. Usually it's hard to bring something back that you already got rid of. But I think that 2 pro wins to qualify or back to the tier level shows, only certain shows that you win, you qualify. Like, for example, if you win Tri-Cities, that wouldn't qualify you, but then it would take a killing to the business because a lot of people aren't going to go because a lot of pros aren't going to do it. Right. Because it would almost be like junior Nats bodybuilders. They don't get pro cards. So it's almost like, why does some of them even do it? You know,
there's no solution. I think that's
There's no solution.
I'm thinking out loud right now, and that's why I want to talk about this because anybody that's watching it, that we got a lot of followers that kind of think inside the box, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe there are people out there that kind of have like a different point of view of what you think that could be done. We'll read it. I like going back and kind of reading what other people have to say.
Yeah, I mean, last time we had a topic about this, there were some really good solutions in the comments. So make sure you guys throw them down there again. You guys want to jump into some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
In a minute. So one thing I also want to bring up beforehand. So guys, a new NPR platform will be rolling out here in the next week or so. And there's a lot of cool things that we're going to highlight on that, but we're also going to have a Rate Your Physique section where you guys are going to be able to submit photos and we're going to pull them up here on the podcast and they're going to basically dissect your body. That sounds weird. Your physique. We're going to give you rankings, so on and so forth. We're also going to do one where we can do your posing, and then another, one where we can focus on your predictions. So that's already being built. It's almost done. So I'm excited to get that there. And you can also submit your questions. That's why I wanted to bring it up. All right. So let's see what some of the people wrote in. Would you go to the bathroom in a handicap stall if there wasn't a handicap person in there?
Yeah.
Of course. I have. I was handicapped for like 6 months. So, I mean, that's all I did.
Nah.
But I mean, if I wasn't handicapped, I mean, as long as I'm not like creating a problem for somebody else, like there's a guy in a walker, I'm not going to fucking cut him off and go piss.
Yes, I agree with that, and I've done it. But can you imagine that situation where you're in the stall and there's a guy like with a wheelchair who rolls up, and he's waiting,
and then walks out? And I mean, but the thing is, even if you don't look like you're handicapped, you may still be handicapped. That's the thing. So with the judgment, they're walking out. I mean, I see guys with dresses coming out of fucking women bathrooms. I think the least thing that we got to worry about is handicapped people or not handicapped people coming out of handicap. I would even go in the female one. I don't care at this point.
Shit. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, but you're just going to see that wheelchair roll up. You're going to start limping out the bathroom. Right? Oh my God. I would do it. Okay, put this in. Would you do it where all the other stalls are still open though?
No. I wouldn't prioritize. Then I'm just being a dick.
Yeah,
you're just being weird. Like, I prefer this one. Why?
It's more room.
I mean, if it's been leg day to hold on to, I don't know. It depends on your situation.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to go into this one because it's specifically handicapped. It's almost like I'm going to rent, go to the hotel when they give you the handicap.
How about this question, though? Since we talk about fucking bathrooms, will you go to the number 2 in an airport bathroom?
No.
Yeah, I've done it. I bring
I
baby
can't,
wipes.
No, hell no.
I bring baby wipes. I wipe down the seat. I
bro.
line
I've
it
seen the worst shit
with.
in the. I'm holding that shit.
No.
I
I'm
and I
good.
be hearing motherfuckers just tear it up. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Like
Yeah.
I can't even
No,
see
no
it
shame either. Yeah. You're like laughing. It makes
at
you feel
bro.
uncomfortable.
You ever see
At
people
all.
take off their pants completely and hold it and put it over the stall? Have you ever guys ever seen
I
that
don't
shit?
know what airport you go to.
Bro, I promise
No,
you, that's
I've
the
seen I've
thing.
seen grown men pull down
Yeah.
their pants and pee in a stall.
Oh, that's too much.
I've seen that. I'm like, is your whole ass out, boy? Bruh, I swear I've seen that
I
shit.
know,
I'm
I
like,
know. I seen maybe a kid doing that or something, but
yeah, a
not a
kid
grown
is
ass
totally
man.
fine, but a grown man
Yeah.
literally put his pants down, ass out, in his feet. Oh, I was like, bruh, you killing me right now, bro. You killing me.
It's
And
some
that was
weirdest shit.
in the airport.
Oh
In
my
the airport.
God.
Like, come on.
He was trying to impress you. He said, be
Yeah, I
like,
ain't going
my glutes striated.
fucking hilarious.
All right. What do you guys what do you guys think about while on stage? Like what's running through your head while on
I'm
stage?
I have like an outer body experience. I present and I'm like in la la land. I don't think about anything.
Mhm.
Because even when people are like, bro, do you see me in the crowd? And even Ari will be like, can you see me? Sometimes I do, and something like if he's like in straight ahead, I can kind of see him. But it's like I'm in a whole different other place. It's weird.
What was the question again?
What do you think about while you're on
Think
stage?
about
What I honestly just look at the judges and make sure that I'm smiling. And I don't overthink it. I don't anticipate it. I practice my posing to where it's like blinking at this point. I walk out, take a deep breath. I make sure that I'm just squeezing my core and pretty much hitting my angles. And I look at Steve, Tyler, Becky, whoever's there, left to right, back straight, wave off, and that's it. Now, when I'm on stage and I'm like waiting for a first call out, maybe I'll find like family member, a coach or something, to where I'm just kind of looking or something. It makes me happy to see who's in the crowd supporting me. But other than that, there's a lot of times at different shows that, it's just, you got a lot of emotion or, you don't, it just, or you're so worried about a
oh,
call out. I know Alex has been there. He's so worried about the call out that it's like, there's nothing else. Like a bomb could go off. You won't even notice it.
I will say
you only got so much time on stage anyway. There's
Yeah.
not too much you can be thinking about. Oh, I'm thinking about a burger. Well, you're gonna fucking eat a burger after. It ain't nothing to think about.
If you say you want a burger on stage or
that's
you're thinking about
crazy.
that, I'm like, hell no, this ain't
Bro,
for you.
bro,
It means
I've
you're
been
forced
in
to be there.
I've been, you know how like they have other call outs go, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember in San Diego specifically, right? So we were first call outs. The way that they did it, they brought first call outs last afterwards. So they all the guys were sitting on there. Bro, I heard so many of them talking about where they're going to eat afterwards, what they're craving. I'm sitting here like, bro, they hungry. I've never in my life sat there on stage thinking about food that I'm going to get right after I step off of it.
I get so nervous on stage that I'm not even, usually I don't have an appetite after. My emotions are so high. It's like,
Yeah.
even if it's a good emotion, you're still almost like you got to wait till finals and you don't know what's going on. You don't want to celebrate. You're still like in that zone of like making sure you could get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though, I do look at the judges and I can read their lips. You can read their demeanor, right? So you kind of know who they're looking at, whether they're making enough eye contact with you. And I can
Man, shut up before they fucking start putting these damn things above their face and then sending in they fucking
Yeah.
numbers and shit.
bro, I'm telling you, a lot of them they act like we're not looking at them. And that's what I do. I look intently at kind of like.
Very true.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. It's the only thing I really do. I don't really look out into a crowd much. I can hear, but I've also had those situations where I have outer body experiences and I don't even remember a single thing.
I don't even remember. Like when I present, I don't remember presenting. I go
Mhm.
back and look at my phone, and Orio's either sent it to me or my girl sent me the video, or
Mm.
I'm looking at it on Olympia TV or whatever the case may be. But when I step on stage to present, I don't remember presenting
Yeah.
ever.
You said something because I have my wife, she sent me over my video of my posing routine or of me and the comparison round. That's what I care about more to make sure that I'm squeezing, I do certain things to
Same.
correct it. That's the number one thing that I like. I pushed. Like, give me that video ASAP. All right. What judges do you like competing in front of the most? Like, what's that one judge?
Steve.
All of them. All the Olympia judges.
Politically correct answer. Mine is Sandy. And
Even though she had you second twice.
she had me second twice.
Now you got something to prove. Third time's a charm.
Yeah. But she always gives me good feedback. As much as I didn't love the placings, I could sit back and understand. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be biased, right? Even one of them I didn't necessarily agree with, I can understand why she did it, right? So, in respect, honesty, direct feedback. She's the one who told me to sit my ass down after Sasquatch, and I didn't listen, and I placed worse, right? So, like, she has an eye. She tells you what's on her mind, and you got to respect it. And I like the order for my physique that she put the rankings in. So
yeah,
that's the thing. Well, I can kind of elaborate a little bit on mine, but you got to understand when you sitting in front of at the O and you got these Olympia judges, they're not just picked by nobody. Tyler Mannion picks them for a reason. You know what I mean? So you have the Steves, you have the Sandys, the Beckys, the Jack Solomons, the Bills, the Debbie A's, and Etilas, and the Bernadettes, and you got the Tamers. You got these people that he picks because he trusts them. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that they're for a reason, but you also need to know that they're not there to fuck up. The Olympias that show that they ain't no misses. They ain't gonna be no, oh, we messed up.
Yeah.
No.
But they still have a look, right?
Absolutely.
I understand why Drew says Steve, and the reason I say that is because I think Steve likes Drew not gonna be the biggest guy on stage, but he likes dry and hard, right? So Steve, it's crazy. I didn't even catch that, but regardless, so it translates with his look.
But see, I even in my defense, my whole rookie year, I've seen every single one of those judges, and then at the Olympia, they also judged me the same way, and I placed second. And that following year, my next show was the Arnold Classic. The same result, the same judges. Boston Pros, Steve and Jack Sullivan, same judges. Bill. You go to the Olympia, I won it all. The same judges. So that's why I say all.
See,
the reason why I picked Steve isn't just because I've won in front of him. It's because he is the guy who his experience of being able to see all of these guys at their absolute peak. I mean, Jim Mannion doesn't judge anymore, but Steve is pretty much trained by him. Same thing with Sandy. I know Sandy was even judging before Steve, but Steve has a different type of eye, and just having these guys at his gym and everything and being able to pose in front of him, to me, is so humbling because he could still place me, where I'm going to be. And he's seen the best physiques that have ever graced planet Earth, So for me, I personally like Steve. I think he's an awesome dude. He says it how it is. He's cutthroat. He's really to the point. He might not say a lot, but if you ask him a question, he's going to give you an answer, and just point blank period. So in front of him, like, I've always, being able to impress him, at least, well, thinking I impress him because I want to show that he judged me at. That to me is why I like being in front of him. And, if he's seen me better, or if he wants me to improve, or has specific feedback he wants to tell me, you have to go and ask him, and he gives it to you. And you just got to go on stage every single time. And this should be with every judge, showing them the improvements. But for me, it's just something with Steve that just motivates me even more to showcase it to him specifically.
No, I respect that. I mean, the one thing I love about Steve, I placed 8th at Chicago. About 2 weeks later in Tampa, I was 3rd, and there was a pretty solid lineup, right? So he doesn't care about your last show. He cares about what you look like in that moment.
Exactly.
And I love that about, the judges who are at the Olympia, because it's what are you showing in front of me right now? I don't care what you've done for me in the past, right? I don't care. And that's why I respect the hell out of him as well.
And on a personal level, how hard that has to be to take all bias out of it and to really just brainwash yourself into saying, I'm going to judge them, not who they are. Guys that visited my gym, been cool to me. Not hard that probably has to be.
Did he judge New York Pro or no?
No.
I'm not sure.
He doesn't.
No.
Right?
I think he just promotes it.
Okay, so because I was going to say because when I did
Can't
New York
judge
Pro,
your own show.
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because I was going to say I did New York Pro and I beat Sadiq. That's like they go to the same gym. That's his guy. So
exactly, and it was the same with Chicago Pro, and that's another reason why. And I'm not saying any judges are biased. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying specifically with Steve being as known as he is, and I would say that he's the most known judge aside from Tyler Mannion, obviously being the VP. Steve has paved the way for judges, but to win in front of him and to like beat a guy who goes to his gym, it just goes to show that there is no bias. There absolutely is none. But even saying that, even think about it in your head. Imagine somebody coming to your gym and being nice and polite to you all the time. Like that has to be so fucking hard to do. That's why I respect it even more.
I agree. Where do you inject? Is that personal?
Y'all better stop injecting them goddamn shoulders. I see it.
Why do you have to come at me like that?
There's people right now that are not. You can clearly see it. You can see it.
It's a bad batch, I swear.
Right.
I swear to drunk, I'm not God.
It's cottonseed oil.
No, what's crazy? My rookie year, I shot my shoulders. I never had knots, but like after that, glute.
Yeah. I only do my glutes. Only
glute.
I've never done my glutes. No,
really? He's a shoulder guy.
Not anymore. Tyler Mannion corrected me. Southeast Texas Pro. Daniel Ammons beat Aria at that show. Tyler says, whatever you're doing to your delts, you need to stop. Shit. That was before he had gyno, because Tyler and me have a strange relationship. Every time that I've seen him, it was shoulder injections. It wasn't feedback that you guys would think. It was always some sort of like my AIs were really, really low or really high or whatever it is, to where I had all of these side effects. I pretty much had every physical side effect you could think of. Every time I talked to him, you need this done, you need this done, you need this done. Now I'm at that point to where I'm not injecting the delts. Like I got no surgery. I have everything that's good. Now it's just that I need it back. But where I inject, Banks said it already, and I'm pretty sure he knows why.
Wait.
Lats.
Okay. That makes sense.
I believe in where you inject. I think that stimulates the area. I think that it's a better mind muscle connection. If you need to really improve something, it's not even as far as having an SEO or a site enhancement. It's not even about that. I think where you inject, you get kind of that soreness, that tightness, right? So I feel like when you're training that muscle, I think it's kind of forcing more blood in that area because it's pretty much punctured, and you're breaking down everything. So I feel at least that's what's worked for me. It's not like it's really growing directly from that injection, but more mind muscle connection is what I've noticed.
You've been told to grow your back for probably the last, handful of years. Have you truly, I'm not saying you've done it because I know you haven't. Would you ever, or have you ever considered SEOs?
I'd consider it.
Who?
SEO, site enhancement oils. But here's the thing: site enhancement oils are different now. People think synthol, and that's not. It can be used as a site enhancement oil, but there's different methods to do it. And it's not necessarily that I'm for or against it. It's just if you could get away with it, and it's not showing the side effects of it, I mean, so be it. But that's why I said maybe. So bear with me. There's a lot of things that you'd say maybe about. I just don't say no or yes.
That do it. I know some people who.
You gotta.
I got the scoop on everybody.
Watch what you say, or Johnny's gonna crop out and change the narrative on you. He's gonna be like, he knows some people. He's gonna start adding some shit in there.
Don't you do that,
Drew? I think I saw you mention or highlight some of this, but we got a question. Thoughts on Sam Sulek competing at the Arnold Amateurs?
Is he?
Yeah.
Really?
I guess you have to qualify now for the Arnold Amateur by winning another show.
Yeah, so he's doing the Las Vegas show week before.
Yeah, so I didn't know about that, but somebody asked me earlier in my live and I covered it, and I don't really follow him like that, at least, but I think it's good for the sport. I mean, he's one of the most influential guys behind Chris Bumstead, I think, and he's never competed. So I think this would just push the business a little bit over. But now that I know he's going to do a show to qualify, then it makes sense.
Do you think that he has an opportunity to win his pro card?
In what
at
division?
that show.
And classic. I believe he's done classic.
To be honest, say no, and I don't even know what his updates are.
Let me see.
I'm just gonna say you got to remember what you're asking, Alex. He's never competed before. He's doing his first show, and going to the Arnold Amateur, and pretty much I think you have to win the overall to get your pro card. The chances of that happening are very unlikely, and I think he has great genetics, but he's going to be going against guys who have been competing for years and years and years, and maybe even decades.
I think it's top 3 in that overall, but he does look pretty fucking pro size. I don't think it's going to be an issue for classic at the amateur level.
Well, it depends on how he, it's always the misconception of looking at guys on Instagram when they're by themselves on a wide lens camera, oiled up and all pumped up and everything. And then you see some of these guys in person. It's not even what they look like in person. It's who they're next to. So I think he has the density. I know he lifts heavy, he trains heavy. He's a really popular guy, but take the popularity out of it. I mean, the dude's jacked. It's just coming down to a pro card. And I think pro cards are a lot harder to get than some people think, even though people say that they're handing them out like candy. I mean, you still have to be very, very select few to even have an opportunity to get a pro card. So I know he has to win his class and then be top 3 in the overall, I believe. I don't know how they do it anymore, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah,
especially in classic.
I'm going to go on a limb here, man. I think he can do it. I think his home is going to be open bodybuilding, but I think he has the size, he has the conditioning. I am curious to know what his shape looks like, but like you said, when you're standing next to these guys, but I remember him by himself in the vacuum. Dude looks crazy. Really good.
Oh, yeah. I just try to break it down so people don't think I'm a hater because this guy has cult following. I'm just looking at the statistical chance of him doing a first show, winning it, then going into the Arnold Amateur, and then pretty much winning the overall. Like, it's very fucking hard to do. There's a guy sitting here that has done it. Aaron Banks, he's done it. That's one of the select few. There's not other people I can name off the top of my head aside from Derek Lunsford, who goes into a show, wins it, and then goes in their pro debut and wins it. He's kind of doing this like first show, boom, back to back with the biggest amateur show that you could do. And you know that the competition is a lot of it's international as well. And these guys come in crazy, and they might be other guys in his class that have been second and third at national level shows.
Yeah. I agree. It's definitely, it's not going to be as easy as I guarantee half of the fans think. But I don't know, man. I think from what I've seen online, and again, online is not reality, so don't take my word as gold, but I do think that he has an opportunity to do it. I've been to a lot of these amateur shows, or I'm sorry, these pro.
But you got to understand, even though it's his first rodeo, the motherfucker's been practicing those exact poses with Fuad, that whole team. He's surrounded by Samson. He's surrounded by great people. So you got to
True, but still the stage experience is different. You could practice. It's almost like a doctor studying a textbook, but when he finally goes to do open heart surgery, it's he could study all the books in the world, but actually performing it is a little bit different. And I try to be reasonable with a lot of people because even me, as much as I practiced before I ever did my first show, I went on stage and I was shaking like a leaf and I couldn't even hold my poses. I got nervous. It's kind of like public speaking. If you've never done it, you kind of don't know, even if you have all the practice. So that's the only. He might come out and he might win the overall. I'm just looking at the likelihood of a lot of these things happening because obviously these superstars on social media are extremely hyped up, and we tend to get our hopes up and then it goes under expectation, right? Yeah. So I hope that's not the case with him because I do watch his content.
I do think he's going to do some shit. All right. Thoughts on Andre the U making a comeback?
I'm excited about it. That's my dog. I kind of communicate with him. I'm excited about what he's going to bring.
I think he's doing Pittsburgh from what people are saying. I think his biggest issues has been his arms, right? I believe his arms and his back. But
I thought his back was good. I always thought his back was crazy because he's been top 5 at Olympia.
His back is good. It's just his fucking arms are massive.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of a thicker waist, I think, too.
Yeah, he does. And you know what? I think it was more of his arms and his midsection. I remember him. What show did he do?
Texas when Daniel beat him.
Yeah. He looked good at that show. Daniel was fucking inside.
He did, but that was the year that Tyler talked about the new criteria and pretty much said the arms cannot be over dominating to the shoulders. Now, a lot of people think that they can't have big arms. You could still have big arms. It just can't appear bigger than the rest of your body. And Andre Dieu had the effect to where his arms were overpowering to where even if he put a hand on hip, it almost looked like it was hiding his lat,
Yeah.
so especially next to Daniel, who is another guy who has crazy arm genetics. Daniel just looked more mainstream, but I think taking the break, I saw him training with Ryan Terry, I think in Dubai a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And even next to Ryan Terry, I mean, Ryan Terry isn't like a crazy arm freak, but he's still a decently sized guy at 220, right? Especially in the arms. Andre Dieu has like his hamstring goes all the way to that elbow, like he's doing back rows and he still has big arms. And sometimes you just can't, even if you don't train them, they'll still grow.
What does your TRT look like? Drew already answered that for you. And Alex, why are you natty? Erin, what's your TRT look like?
What's that?
TRT.
I don't know.
Health phase. How much tests do you take in your health phase?
Keep the secrets to yourself.
I don't know.
Okay. You can't let him get the secrets because if he tells anybody, they're all going to think you could look like him.
Everybody asks me, bro, that question, I can show you 30 times in my phone.
How much cardio do you do? Thinking that if I do your cardio, I'm going to look like you.
Every live I do. How much cardio you do? Just because I'm doing cardio, you got to ask me how much cardio I'm doing?
Or when you're not doing it, they still ask.
What's your incline at?
That part. Like it don't.
What's your heart rate? What's your heart rate at?
People are hilarious. But what's crazy is Luka got traded to the Lakers.
Oh, bro, sports is being flipped upside down right now. But the Birds
is next weekend. This weekend.
Is anybody watching the Mahomo Bowl 59?
Yeah, Hurts is gonna hurt his feelings, bro.
I think
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I do believe it's Eagles' year. I do believe, and I'm not saying, but the thing is, I hate the Chiefs because I'm a Raider fan, but I have to support my hometown people. My boy Xavier Worthy, he's from the town, 559. I would love for my guy.
Did you go to Rutgers? No. That's Isaiah Pacheco. My bad. Go ahead.
I just need my guy to come back with a Super Bowl ring. So I'm kind of going for both teams, to be honest.
Oh, bro, Eagles got to get it done, man. The city is.
But I would also love for Saquon in that story to, bro.
Dude, Saquon's different, bro. He's different.
The Giants made the biggest mistake I've ever seen in my life, bro.
The Giants are fucking idiots.
I've never seen they're the worst franchise in football right now, and that's not even doubtable.
No, I think the Bears are pretty goddamn close.
Bro,
the Browns.
Dude, the Bears fire their defensive coordinator every other game, and then they get somebody new, and then they don't know the plays. And then when they could take a field goal to kick and tie the game, they don't. They run the clock. Thanksgiving,
bro,
against the Lions, bro.
It was the dumbest game I've seen. It was the dumbest game that I've seen all year, without a doubt. But I'm feeling it, man. I really feel like the Eagles can bring this one home. I really do.
Hey, what day you coming into Columbus, Alex?
The Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
Yeah, because we're renting out a studio. We got to figure out what day, but we found a studio just to get some content and stuff like that.
But you want to do that in a studio, or are we doing that at a pool?
What the
shoot?
You want to do that at a pool? I didn't want you to be in the sun. That's the thing.
Nigga, do you know where you going?
Oh, that's the good point.
Do you know where you going? Please tell me where you going.
Bro, he's acting like you're going to Miami,
bro,
in the summer.
We just need the background of the pool. It might be frozen over with ice, but like
we'll see.
Who knows? It might be snowing in Columbus this year, because usually it's snowing
in March. Yeah,
it's freezing cold there. I remember. It's you park in the parking garage to walk up there, man. It's like you got to bring a whole ass winter outfit.
I remember people did a road trip from Jersey and it was snowing like the whole way up there. All right, last question. Drew's favorite question. Erin, don't get in trouble. Top 5 most conditioned. That shit. That shit. So I made that post, a couple weeks ago? I'm still having people reach out to me about it. It,
Ryan, Ali, and this isn't in no order, but Ryan is going to be number one for me, muscle maturity and everything. Ryan, Ali, Daniel Ammons, Deke Walker, and myself. And I'm basing it off of consistency as well, not just having one show, consistently being conditioned. There's a few guys that I could have with specific extremity body parts, like he's conditioned in the chest or legs or whatever, and they might not be conditioned in the back. Ricardo Croce, crazy conditioning from the back. I know Ben called me out one of the lives, and but not as much in the core, not as much in the legs. Like I'm just looking at the overall, the conditioning. And the thing is, a lot of men's physique guys don't show their glutes. And I promise you, I'm in that top five. Promise you, I'm in that top five.
All right. So,
I don't really care.
You say you don't care?
No, because the only person it's only one Mr. Olympia on there. Not even the last four. Me, Brandon, Ray, or Brandon or Jeremy. And to be honest, like I said, like
it doesn't matter as much as the other stuff. I agree. But let me ask you this. Can it come down to, let's say, I'm you know why I'm winning shows, my front end conditioning. If I didn't have my conditioning, I wouldn't win shows. So in a way, it does help people, specifically Mehdi. You look at Mehdi, he's winning shows because of his conditioning, not necessarily his front or his structure. It's his back and his conditioning. So certain people, it can make or break.
Yeah.
That's the point of it. So it matters to certain people in certain aspects. But
I would
guys
say
that
so.
are
It matters to certain people with certain structures.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then Aaron, if you're not going to answer top five, who do you think number one is?
Of all time?
Well, sure. All time in men's physique. I still think it's the same person.
It's Ryan Terry.
Yeah.
He's brought that for the last 15 fucking years. The same peeled ass conditioning.
Dry, uncomfortable.
You know who was pretty wild too? And I think he only made the Olympia once, is Sergi Constance. That dude was pretty fucking wild too. He didn't have a good structure, but he's another guy that, he had a blockier waist, he had a shallow back, but that dude was inside out. He's from Spain.
Yeah.
In order, Drew, Daniel, Deke is fucking insane. Ali, and then Ryan. That's the thing. I think a lot of times conditioning gets misconstrued because there's people who are detailed, there's people who are full that makes them look more conditioned, right? But the definition of conditioning to me is who has the lowest amount of body fat, right? Yeah. So Ryan Terry had the lowest amount of body fat, but I don't think he had the best pop on that stage. You know what I mean? So I just think taking that into account, there's not many people who's ever gonna beat Ryan. And the person who really stood out to me on the list was Deke. But there's people like I said it, Tyler Smith from the UK. He was just absolutely inside out. And Mitch Starr, like I said, inside out. I think a lot of people took that list and read it as gospel.
Let me tell you why certain people get offended, especially with conditioning, because these guys that really bring that superior next level conditioning know how hard it is to get to that point. So some of the guys that think they deserve to be there, whether they are or not, I think the list that you made was pretty accurate. Even the first one when I wasn't in it was pretty accurate. But I take a lot of pride in the one thing that I do have.
That's all they got. That's all they got. That's why they gonna get mad.
It's not even that, right? It's like, who I respect, who could have potentially been on the list is Mehdi. But the way that he responds to it is like, this list is not
doesn't matter
whether I'm going to win shows or not. I win shows. Sitting next to people who are superior to me in conditioning, right? It's like, this is not the end all be all. And the part of me creating it, right? I think they look at them as me dissing them because they might not be on it. But meanwhile, I'm highlighting other people who are on it while trying to drive, audience or recognition to them. But I'm not trying to, talk anybody down, right? And I think there's too many people in this division that are extremely sensitive to a point where if they are left out of a conversation, then they feel like.
Bro, what did you just say?
What?
Say that one more time.
That a lot of people in this division are extremely sensitive.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the most insecure sport in the world.
There's no question. And I get it, right?
Of course.
People work fucking hard for this. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, they
That's
don't.
just like that's okay. Look, that's just like y'all remember how like y'all said somebody back was better than mine. You thought I give a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a fuck. Have that person won a Mr. Olympia, a Arnold, anything? Come on, bro. Why are you
Exactly.
tripping? Why are you mad? Nobody care about these lists. They ain't fucking 100%. Is Steve Weinberger giving you a list? Is
Hey,
Tyler giving you a list? You talking about other people fucking opinions and you acting like a little bitch over somebody's opinions. Chill the fuck out, man.
bro, put it this way. I am not, think about it. Think about this. I'm not on any list, maybe top 10 structure. I'm not on any of these lists, but yet and still I can make it to the Olympia. And at one point, I was ranked at the Olympia, right? Like these lists don't speak anything.
It don't matter. It don't
But
matter.
just like anything, there's certain things now that don't bother me because I've matured in the mind and understood with the sport, the path that it led me down on certain things. Because there's things that when I first was starting to get a little bit, catching fire a little bit, it did bother me, but I learned how to handle it by talking to other guys that experienced it too. So
Yeah.
it's so easy to say like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter and whatnot. Like a lot of people say, oh, I don't give a fuck, but a lot of people do. It's the sport that we're in. But I think you learn with the exposure effect to how to deal with it a little bit differently. And it's something that I could at least confidently say because I acknowledge the shit that I was, seeing or hearing online or hearing people speaking. I always felt like I had to speak up on my own behalf to prove a point because I felt disrespected when in reality, nobody gave a fuck if I was felt disrespected or not. It just, it didn't pertain to any of that. And I made it something that didn't have to be. So that's something that I acknowledge so I could be a better athlete. That's
Yeah.
what a lot of other people should do as well. And I'm talking because I've been through the ups and downs of it. Erin has been through the ups and downs of the social media and being caught in the rage bait and all that bullshit. And Alex, I don't know if you have because you're pretty level headed, but I'm sure that you've gone through a time to where you had to deal with some shit that bothers you, and everybody does. It's just how you handle it.
All the time. And then that's the thing, I see comments, I don't respond. Like it's just at the end of the day, when you peel back every single layer, whether it's my personal content, whether it's something that people say on this platform, right? It's what are we trying to do? Trying to elevate the division and trying to bring more recognition to it, right? Just because maybe in that one piece of content that one person wasn't on it or whatever it might be doesn't mean that we're trying to, tear you down in the same breath. So um, I'm going to continue making the content and continue to, speak highly of certain individuals.
Hey, did you say who you coaching? Who is your coach?
No.
When are you gonna announce it?
It needs to
Why
be
is
like
it
a separate podcast. The
why is
drum
it a
roll.
big secret, bro? Like
Just so everyone watching this, Aaron is hinting at who he thinks my coach is based off of his demeanor.
I'm not hitting shit. I
Yeah, he is.
know. I'm not.
Yes, he is.
I'm not.
Aaron,
I'm
guys,
not.
Aaron doesn't
I'm,
know yet. Aaron doesn't know or Drew, so don't.
It's gonna be some plot twist and like Aaron's coaching you or some shit.
it's gonna be some weird shit. Some weird ass clickbait shit. My coach is Aaron Banks.
Yeah.
Just let him know already. Just let
Yeah.
him know.
But right now, I'm in a health, bro. I'm in like a true health phase, bro. I'm off of testosterone, HG, like, this the base. I'm off of everything completely. I haven't done this in my career, so me doing this is resetting the systems. Like I don't know whether I'm competing in 2025, and I don't care right now because I have been so unhealthy for so long that all I want to prioritize is getting my body responsive. Because I promise you, bro, my metabolism has never been like this, bro. Right now I can eat 4,000 calories and I stay the same weight. I've never been able to do stuff like this before. I'm realizing my body was so just kept in a box for so many years that I'm seeing things now. Yes, I don't love like the roundness and the pop that my physique doesn't have, but that's just gonna come back, bro. Like it is, and it's the responsiveness that I'm looking for. So I'm going to be able to take less and get more out of my body. I'm going to be able to eat more throughout the process of prep, do less cardio. I was the hour and a half, 2 hour guy, throughout my career of cardio. So like hearing the numbers that you guys are saying is nothing to me. It's always been my warm-ups practically. So knowing how that's not normal for someone, over time, I've been running myself in the ground, bro. I'm 28 years old. I had fucking my hair thinning. I had fucking
Hey,
acne.
boy, I was just about to say, boy, your hair jet black again. What you doing over there? You like real healthy.
That's
He
what I'm
real
saying, bro.
healthy.
It's the little things that I'm prioritizing right now that's going to turn into the big things. So right
Right.
now, my main focus is getting healthy. And, when I do pull the trigger and start back up, I think my body's really going to respond. So next time I step back on stage, I want to get right in front of fucking Tyler. Like I'm not like I want to show him like I made the fucking changes. And then I think his jaw's gonna drop. So I don't know exactly when that's gonna be. I'm actually gonna let my new coach decide when that is, based off of what he sees, and then pull the trigger from there. But
I wonder who it is.
You're so fucking annoying.
but guys, you guys are watching this podcast right now, and all you guys
bro, you up here acting like it's a fucking presidential fucking election. Like, who's gonna be the president? Who's gonna be my fucking coach? Like, who? Put in your selection. Oh, get the fuck out of here already.
Just so y'all know, Erin is making y'all think one thing. Y'all probably don't think it's y'all don't think who it is.
Yeah, okay.
We know.
Clickbait.
But
so annoying, bro.
But before we get out of here, Erin, you hinted at a few things. How many shows are you doing this year?
Maybe 5.
I'm actually glad you're running the gauntlet now. You're just gonna tune in even more. Maybe like 5. Figuring out peaks and shit.
Because you got to understand, I did 5 in 2021. Why can't I do 5 in 2025?
That bag. So are you so far it looks like you committed to obviously the Arnold, and then you have Pittsburgh, and then you have New York, what I'm guessing. You gonna talk about any other ones or just leave it at that?
Up in the Wasatch.
Dubai. Oh shit.
You gotta defend it.
We're gonna see another fucking video of Erin walking around fucking shirtless with a fucking
I am. They're my boys. They already messaged me. That's my boy.
That's crazy.
I might get on a giraffe this time though.
You could do that.
He got this little fucking pet monkey that is so his monkey has millions of followers.
Like the finger monkeys, they like jump around.
No, he a little monkey like this big, bro. Like he's this big. It's the little cutest thing, bro. It's funny because it's like a human. Like, bro, it's like I'll send y'all his profile. It's the craziest thing. Like, it's like a little kid, like a little baby. Like it's crazy, but he listen like a kid. Of course, he don't talk, but like eat with him, sit right. Like he'll be probably just chilling right here, just watching the TV.
It's cool.
Well mannered, everything, bro.
You don't realize how smart monkeys are. They literally are. Like we're the evolution of monkeys. So if we can do all of these fucking things, you know what I mean?
Right.
Smart monkey can do half of it.
I think their DNA is like 99.8% human.
Bro, it's literally us. Just evolution. You know,
they're learning. They're gonna take us over. Remember, what is it? Planet
of the Apes. Yeah, that movie was fucking.
Wait. I could have sworn I read something to where they said you'll be able to talk to your dog or some shit. And there's some weird AI shit that's about to happen. I don't know what it is. I read it on Jerry News, so it
doesn't even surprise me at this point.
So it's official. And I was looking. I said, so we'll be able to talk to dogs and cats, huh? Like really?
Well, it'll help. It'll help with some of the people that identify as dogs and cats because you don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Drew's wish came true. He got his president. Shit. Aaron's probably too.
Shit, we needed him.
That's the one thing. I'll say.
Needed him, bro. And the thing is, it's like with all this tariff stuff, and our prices over here are gonna go up, but he's also trying to take away all the taxes. So some things may be more expensive. Who gives a fuck? No taxes. Thank you. Let's do it.
People need to understand it's on the right track. The people that want to deny it, you can't just vote for somebody because of personality. Have at least some reasons for the future of your kids, whatever it may be. And that's what I think about. And it's not to just be, people that throw out, feminists or misogynists or, bigots and all this stuff. And it has nothing to do with that. And we talked about it earlier. The media cutting up clips to make you believe something. And it happens in bodybuilding. It happens to the most popular man on planet Earth, who is Trump. Like, just because I say something or repost something, I'm suddenly, racist or whatever they want to say about it. And there's literally nothing that ties it to racism. It's just simply supporting somebody that I think is more fit for office, just like they have the right to support who they want.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like you said it perfectly. It's the personality that gets a lot of people, and I get it, right? But in the same breath, I think what he can and has shown he is already starting to do, I think overall it's going to be better for the country right?
Yep.
Again, personality is one thing. I bet if you had the personality of Barack Obama, but the action of him,
Yeah.
it'll be different.
Yeah. Of course. That's with
regardless,
anything. It's the same thing with even bodybuilding. Everybody talking about what they bring to the stage, but they don't bring nothing that looks like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's
exactly.
all the talk versus the action.
Well, regardless, guys, we're back. Season 2.
We back, baby.
Season 2, episode 1, coming at you guys live every single week. And Erin, 4 weeks out. It's coming. 4 weeks out. Drew, focusing on your off season right now, prioritizing bringing up that back, taking flight, and myself living the natty life, and we feel good, man. So we're going to continue to bring back all of the coverage. We're going to continue to post all of the general updates on our social media. So make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're going to be doing a lot of cool things. Again, that new platform will be rolling out very soon, and
I'm excited about it.
it'll be fun. We got some reoccurring guests that we have locked down. We got some new guests that we have locked down. So this podcast is going to be something special this year, man. 2024, we came into it with no plan. I think this year now we're going to be taking off with a little bit more action that we have. So guys, I appreciate you for hopping on, and until the next episode. Peace.